Well, good afternoon. I'm David Crowler, president of CFS, and welcome to CFS Collective. And today we have a visitor. Her name is Angie Melvin, and she's the founder of Valerie's House. Welcome, Angie.
Thank you so much.
So, for our audience, if you don't mind, would you just maybe take a minute or two and explain to our audience today about Valerie's House and why do you exist?
Valerie's House is a special place for children and families who are grieving, meaning that someone in their life has passed away, has died. And even that's a weird word for a kid, like someone died, So we're really trying to change the whole conversation around grief and loss because it happens to a lot more families than I think people realize. The reason that Valerie's House exists, the reason why I started it almost 10 years ago now in our hometown of Fort Myers, is that my mom was Valerie, and she died in 1987 in a car accident here in Fort Myers off of Gladiolus, and she was on her way to pick my sister and I up from camp and tragically never made it.
Oh.
So we didn't have anything back then in the 80s in Lee County to talk about your feelings. So my family, I like to say, we kind of grieved in silence. And I think there's just got to be some better ways to do it than that.
Yeah, and so obviously you've recognized the need because you've lived through it. And I don't recall how we actually got together, but we went down to your old location, and that was down on
Fowler.
Yes, and it was an older home. But I went there with my wife. Karen and I met you there, and you gave us a tour, and you walked us through the place, and I got to tell you, it grabbed us emotionally. Now, I had lost my mom maybe 10 years ago, but I wasn't a child, I was an adult. Not that it's any easier, but at least I understood it better. So I really grasped the concept that what you were trying to get accomplished, and it felt really good walking through there in what you've done and what you've done for these families, these children and the families. I can't imagine the children are the sole beneficiaries here because sometimes I suppose if you lose a mother, your father's still there, so he's got some grieving to go, and he's also watching the children, and so I can just see how that could just really, compound onto everybody in the community, really. But fast forward, you had an open house, and that was probably about a month ago, thereabouts, and thank you for inviting us. We were fortunate to be invited, and we showed up, Karen and I, and wow, was I impressed. Would you tell us a little bit about the new facility?
Oh, yes. And, I want to confirm what you said, that it's not just for children, but it's for the entire family, because when I was 10 and I lost my mom, my dad was only 31, losing his wife and his high school sweetheart from Fort Myers High School back. I mean, that's all he ever knew. And he didn't have anywhere to go either. He needed to know other men in this situation of, okay, I've lost my wife. Suddenly with no preparation, and now I'm raising 2 little girls and they're grieving, so how do I help them and help myself? So part of what we do at Valerie's House is the adults and the parents, those raising the children, also come and see us for help and support. And we know by helping the parent, we're also helping the child, the more we can give them. So that's why that house is so needed now, and it's so big. Because we have so many families that go through this. Actually, 1 in 9 in our community will lose a parent or sibling before the age of 18. So it's right now in Lee County, the statistics are showing a little over 20,000 children who are grieving currently here just in our county. So we know that it's needed, and the house was needed. And I remember meeting you back in 2018. Not only did you come through for us, just showing up, you made a donation. I remember that day, you and Karen. You said, "What do you need?" And I said, "Well, we need a fence," because we were on a main road there, and the kids were playing, and it was dangerous. And so, within a week, you had a fence built for us. Still stands today, by the way. And we painted that fence with the kids' handprints and butterflies.
Oh, did you?
So I'm going to take a picture and make sure you know that's still standing today on Fowler Street. It's like a mural. So we turned that fence into a mural and a friendly, really for anyone who drives down Fowler. So the kids wanted us to take a piece of that fence with us, which we did, to the new house because it meant so much to them. So you supported us so many years ago, And then we needed the roof for this current house, and you said, I'm going to help you out. And that was really amazing.
Yeah, I remember we had a brief conversation back in, was it 2018?
Yeah.
As you walked me through the place, and I was really starting to really grasp how powerful what you're doing, how powerful it is to the families and to this community, that I was like, if you ever do something, or if you ever need any roofing work, you can count me in. And I remember talking to you about it. And here it is, 5-6 years later, I got the phone call and said, hey, would you mind helping out? And we were honored to do so. I just want to say that not only was I honored personally, but as we talked about it here in the company, and I have my executive teams and so on, everybody was all in. I just got to tell you. So congratulations on that. So proud of you. So proud of what you've done down there. The building is beautiful. Oh my gosh. I want to say thank you just as a leader in our community. I think what you've done is great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You helped us, and so many supporters helped us. This entire community has come forward and saying, we didn't have anything like this. We needed it, and you're not alone in this. We're going to help you build this. So the house is a home away from home. The families don't live there. They come there after school, and they come for grief support groups and counseling and music and art and journaling. Just a lot of holistic, it's a holistic approach, meaning that it's not just, sitting with a counselor going, tell me your feelings. That's not going to work for every child or parent.
Right.
They need to know others like them. That's the most important part of Valerie's house, is families are helping families. And it's growing tremendously. So when we opened in 2016, we only have 20 families, and now in 2023, we had over 1,000 people come through Fort Myers alone.
Wow.
For help. So that's what that house is there for. And each room in the house is decorated for a certain age group. We have a big kitchen because they all eat together. We have the living room. We have a big backyard with a basketball court and a playground. So it doesn't feel sad, even though you're walking into a place that you never wanted to have to go. Our concept and the vision was that it would be a place you want to go, though. Once you're there, you're like, I feel I'm at home. And that's what you helped us create.
And when we went to the open house and I got to tour the new facility, you're right. I walked in and we walked around, and it felt like home. It felt so comfortable. You guys have done an amazing job. I don't know who decorated. I don't know who's.
We had a lot of people help.
Well, that's good. But you pulled it all together, and wow, thank you. Thank you for all you do in this community. Okay,
so
now, so we talked about what we did 5 or 6 years ago, at least with CFS, and a little bit of help downtown. And now you got your new facility, and you got a new roof on there, and you've had a lot of other help from the community, I know. Are there anything in the future planned?
We will be expanding eventually, probably 3 to 4 years from now. Believe it or not, house is already packed every night. Tonight we'll have a group. Tomorrow night we'll have a group. 40 to 50 people there per night. I love the fact that you did the roof, because it really is the first thing people see, right? Let's be honest about roofs. They're very important.
We put the metal roof on the canopies.
Yeah. And it's the front. We wanted the old Florida style, because I'm native here, and we wanted the big front porch. And you said, let's get the metal roof.
Yeah.
And not everyone agreed with that right away, but you fought for it with me, and I am so happy we did that.
Beautiful.
Because it sticks out, doesn't it?
Yes, it's got that Florida character that we all know and love.
Yes.
And, this is Southwest Florida, and so, So 3 or 4 years from now, maybe you'll expand into something else?
Yeah, we'll expand. Right now, the house looks incredible. We're going to get a gate up soon and a fence. We're still waiting to get the formal certificate of occupancy. Just got a couple more months. Got to get it done. All that stuff.
Sure.
Construction. But really, in general, just people who want to help, want to support. They can sponsor a child for a year. It costs about $2,500 for one kid to go through the program. That includes everything for free for their family, because it doesn't cost anything. We even give them a scholarship to go to college or trade school.
Wow.
Or go into the roofing business.
Oh, wow.
Of course, if that's what they want, go get trained up. We give them scholarships as well when they graduate. So we'll really take care of that whole grieving family. So if someone wants to help, they can sponsor a family for $2,500 a year.
Okay, so my audience that may be listening today, where can they go to find out some information about Valerie's
Just
house?
Google Valerie's house or go to the website, valerieshouse.org. You can contact me directly on the website. You can volunteer directly on the website. You can donate anything you want, or you might want to just come and see the house and take a tour and I'd be happy to do that as well.
Yeah, maybe I'd like to bring maybe my team down to your place one of these days, because I think what you do is amazing and it's powerful. And as business owners, again, it's just not all about business. It's not always about money. It's always about the community, because that's what had at least given us some success, is this community. So we want to participate and we want to contribute. So
much.
before I cut this interview short, are there any names you want to shout out to say thank you for what you've done?
How do I limit it to just a few names? Well, Lennar Homes, I mean,
Yes.
with Darren McMurray and his whole team, they really pushed it through, because we had a lot up against us with the market after the storm.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't get a roof, so you and others made this priority, and I know that wasn't easy. And so Lennar Homes, and then there's just been so many donors, Dan Creighton. I mean, there's just...
Dan Creighton?
Yeah, Dan Creighton helped, David and Linda Lucas helped. There's literally hundreds of people.
And you have a bunch of volunteers. I remember I was very moved at your open house, all the volunteers that you had but that attended the open house. I thought that was fabulous too.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the volunteers. The list is probably too big to name.
So many volunteers help with the group night. So the support group setting might be a therapist or a staff member, but then there's what we call buddies, and those are like mentors and for the kids, and that's really cool. So if that's something that, maybe one of your viewers went through this as a child and they want to give back because they didn't have that when they were a kid, this would be the organization to get involved with.
Wow, that's fantastic. All right. Well, Angie, thank you for showing up today. Thank you for speaking to us. And everybody, that's Angie Melvin, founder of Valerie's House. And I'm David Crowther, CFS Collective, signing out. Thank you.